Steve Mnuchin was relatively unknown, one of LA's many billionaires. That is, until Donald Trump tapped him to be his campaign finance chief.
He is Steve Mnuchin.
Stephen Mnuchin.
Steve Mnuchin.
Stephen Mnuchin, former Goldman Sachs partner who headed up fundraising for Donald Trump during the campaign, will be his pick for Treasury Secretary.
Now, President-elect Trump wants to give the former hedge fund manager an even bigger job, managing the country's money.
Our most important priority is sustained economic growth.
And Mnuchin has done exactly that for himself, very successfully. He came from money, drove a Porsche in college, and then followed his father to Goldman Sachs. But eventually, he made his own fortune.
I think he worked his ever-loving butt off at every level that he was, and he deserves every accolade.
What a ride! More recently, he's produced movies, backing films like Suicide Squad, American Sniper, and the Lego Movie.
That's you, right?
But it was his time at Goldman, where he ran the mortgage trading desk, that helped him spot the deal of a lifetime during the financial crisis. Mnuchin led a group of investors that bought failed subprime lender IndyMac for a steal in 2009, renaming it OneWest. As part of the deal, the government agreed to cover most of the bank's losses.
OneWest is one of the greatest examples of governmental partnerships and involvement in bailing out banks in history.
That's your perspective. Some people
No,
would say
it's not
he
my
profited
perspective.
while
Ask
other
the
people
government.
suffered.
It's not my perspective. Ask the government. The government is not griping about what happened in OneWest.
Maybe, but some of the bank's customers don't feel the same. Angry protesters descended on Mnuchin's home in LA, accusing the bank of kicking them out of their homes without proper documentation. Regulators eventually questioned the company's foreclosure practices, but Mnuchin defends his record.
Let me tell you, one of the most proud aspects of my career was buying IndyMac during the financial crisis.
Mnuchin and his partners sold OneWest for a hefty profit. His share? $200 million, according to Bloomberg. But critics say that record disqualifies him for the Treasury job.
He's the one who said, yeah, we're going to make profits out of this, and boy, did he make profits for himself and his investors. Let's squeeze all those folks who will lose their homes.
Incoming Press Secretary Sean Spicer says Warren is misinformed. He says Mnuchin saved jobs and helped some people stay in their homes. Democrats also oppose Mnuchin because they say his relationship with hedge funds and bankers will lead him to go easy on the industry. Mnuchin has already talked about relaxing some rules.
We want to strip back parts of Dodd-Frank that prevent banks from lending, and that'll be the number one priority on the regulatory side.
For Democrats, those regulations are critical protections for most Americans.
What does Steve Mnuchin say as soon as he's nominated to be the Secretary of the Treasury? He says he wants to roll back those reforms. He says, hey, let's go back to the good old days when Steve Mnuchin was the foreclosure king.
But supporters are urging Americans to give Mnuchin a chance. What do you think his first mission is going to be as Treasury Secretary?
Don't screw up.
Cristina Alesci, CNN, New York.